Shortly, the presiding officer, accompanied by the academic procession, will enter the graduation hall. Once they've taken their position on stage, Advanced Australia Fair will be played, and we invite you to join in the singing of the national anthem. Would you please stand for the academic procession?
Please be seated. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to invite Mr. Chris Tobin, representative of the Darug people, to offer the traditional welcome to country.
Thank you. Budji Mulinawul, everyone. Good morning and Nalawa. Welcome to the lands of the Walla Medigal. I belong to one of the local Aboriginal families of the Darug people, the traditional custodians over this part of the country. I wish to firstly pay my respects to the country itself and its people, and to thank the University for their acknowledgement of us and the invitation to welcome you here this morning. That invitation is important, that acknowledgement, is important to our people and much appreciated. My family descend from Yarramundi, a respected elder and cleverman of the Burrabrongal clan during the early years of colonisation. He saw that our survival in this new world could best be secured if we could learn more about it. So he enrolled his daughter, Bulgari, or Maria, into the Native Institute, a school set up in 1815 by Governor Macquarie, offering formal education to Aboriginal children. Maria studied there for several years and used her newly acquired skills to lobby and ultimately to secure some land for herself and her family out along the Richmond Road. Other Aboriginal families soon joined them and became known as the Blackstown, where the present-day city of Blacktown gets its name. We're very proud of her, as I'm sure your families are of you here this morning. And with good reason. Your success is our success. Your advancement, our advancement. Now that was probably better understood in more traditional times when camp groups were smaller and clans abided by strict sharing laws, which meant the food that you caught and brought back was distributed throughout the rest of the camp. Your skills and good fortune were thus enjoyed by all. Your efforts literally nourished the rest of the community, and you in turn were looked after by them. Yes, we can live quite beautifully when we work together. Our Aboriginal ancestors certainly lived well in many respects, and I use occasions like this to offer them to yourselves as a model or a benchmark on how good to expect our lives today. You see, when Captain Cook arrived here a little over 250 years ago, or not quite actually, he encountered a people whom he described as one of the happiest people he'd ever met. Now, they wore nothing, they wore no clothes, they owned nothing but the tools they carried. They made their shelters from the bark of trees without cutting them down and harvested food from the earth without excessive tilling or clearing. Now, these were not primitive societies, these were ancient cultures. So there was no armies, no slavery, no rich and poor, no rents or mortgages, and no homelessness. People cooperated to collect the resources that were needed, and then they were shared out according to strict Aboriginal law. Our lands were maintained with fire and responsible harvesting. Our rivers and waterways kept clean and unpolluted, with people drinking out of them as they have done here for the past 20,000 years. So remember, this is not a dream or an ideal. This was normal life for us for the longest time, and not too long ago either. And there is no reason why we should expect less for ourselves and our children than what our ancestors enjoyed. Admittedly, there's a lot more of us, but we're a clever people, and there's still much magic in the world, I believe. So graduates, I would say expect great and wonderful things from your life. Life is good, and we are naturally a happy people. I would suggest you share your gifts with the rest of us, though, and keep following that beautiful spirit within you that got you this far. Do this, and I'm confident that together we can put together a country and a world that we can be proud of, and a future that is worthy of our children. We can all do our bit. I'll do mine now by winding up and letting you graduate. Just want to say congratulations to all of you and all the best in our collective futures. Thank you and welcome to country.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to introduce the Vice-Chancellor of Macquarie University, Professor Bruce Doughton, who will preside at today's ceremony.
Well, Chris Tobin, thank you very much for coming along to graduation today and offering such an informative and warm welcome to country. It's wonderful to have you here as always. Thank you again. Colleagues, guests, families and friends of our graduands, and most importantly, the graduating class yourselves. It is my distinct pleasure and honour to welcome you all here today to this graduation ceremony. I bring you the greetings of our Chancellor, the Honourable Michael Egan, who's unable to be here, and members of the University's Governing Council. I hope that this will be a very happy and memorable occasion for all of you. Now, I did spot as I came in today, I think, a couple of small children over on this side, and I think I heard a youngster down the back over there, and I want you to know that children and babies are especially welcome at Macquarie University graduations. We believe at Macquarie University, and I believe, that all celebrations are the better for having young children present. I also want you to know that unless something has changed since I was a youngster, it's hard for small ones to stay still or keep quiet for the length of an hour and a half or an hour and 3/4 of a graduation ceremony. And I don't expect them to, I don't want them to. I'm a paediatrician by original profession, so I'm very used to the noises of children. If the Chancellor were here as a distinguished retired politician for many, many years, he would always say that he was heard far worse rancour on the floor of the Parliament than could possibly ever be heard by children at a graduation ceremony. So children, run around, have a great time, and as far as I'm concerned, make as much commotion as you like. Now today we're about to celebrate the wonderful achievements of those of you about to graduate. Completing a degree is never easy. You need an intelligent and inquiring mind, determination and perseverance, and you need to make indeed many sacrifices along the way as well. You've all worked very hard to get to this point today, and you have every right to feel proud of what you have accomplished. We at the university are also very proud of those accomplishments, and I will be pleased to be able to congratulate each of you personally during the formalities this morning. I also want to especially welcome the families, supporters and friends of our graduates to my left and down the back to my right. The fact that you have been invited by one of our graduands to share in this most important high ceremonial occasion is proof positive that you have been an important influence on the lives of our graduands. So to our invited guests, congratulations and thank you for celebrating this grand occasion with us. Now today, ladies and gentlemen, is a special ceremony since it marks the first time that graduands will be graduating from the Rennick Centre, a distinguished organisation which transferred to this university a little while ago, and it's the first graduation ceremony of students who've been at the Rennick Centre for Macquarie University. The Dean will have a little more to say about that in due course, but I'm particularly pleased to welcome Professor Greg Lee, the Director of that centre today, and members of the governing body and senior administration of the Royal Institute for Deaf and Blind Children, which is the parent organisation of the Rennick Centre here at Macquarie University as well today. I'm delighted to have members of the board with the Vice President, Mr. David Dinty, and the CEO of the Royal Institute for Deaf and Blind Children, Mr. Chris Wren. One of those blocks, ladies and gentlemen, when you don't write things down. Chris Wren, welcome to you and members of the board and David. Now, graduands here today, you may not realise it, but you are about to participate in one of the oldest of Europe's social rituals. If you were to pick a date, say 1500 AD, and look to see what social institutions were around back then that are still here today, there you would find only about 60 such institutions. If you leave aside the Roman Catholic Church, the parliaments of England, Iceland and the Isle of Man, and 6 Swiss cantons or local government regions, all the rest are universities. In fact, graduation ceremonies are even older than that. For more than 800 years, graduates have been donning robes just like the ones you are all wearing today and participating in ceremonies just like this ceremony. And since those earliest graduations, the ceremony has remained almost unchanged, a defining feature of the life of every university in the West and its students. Now, we all realise that Macquarie University is not one of those ancient universities, as we are only just over 50 years old. Though we are among the youngest universities in the world, we are very proud to take part in this time-honoured ceremony with you today. Youth, however, does have its advantages. Macquarie is a very modern and outward-looking university. We are regarded as one of Australia's leading research-intensive universities and are continually progressing by extending our research, our course offerings and our facilities. We now have more than 190,000 graduates spread across 140 countries around the world. It's very clear that we are forward-looking and that we are on the move. However, some of the things that we value most at Macquarie University, I believe and hope, will never change. Over my 6+ years of having the great privilege of leading this university, I've had many visitors note to me the friendliness and warmth of welcome of our staff and students. I anticipate that will always be so, and graduates, you will always be welcome back at Macquarie University. We proudly take our name, Macquarie University, from a man whom I believe was Australia's greatest colonial governor, Governor Lachlan Macquarie. A man whose greatness and achievements were never really acknowledged in his own time, but only by the passage of history. Those of us educated in the New South Wales school system learned that Macquarie was a great builder. And that is certainly true if you look around downtown Sydney or in some of the outskirts. Some of the marvellous colonial buildings were built at his instruction. But I believe his greatest legacy actually had nothing to do with bricks and mortar. It was, I believe, the ethos that he established, much, I would add, to the annoyance of the British authorities of the time, of an egalitarian society. Because it was Macquarie's insistence that in this fledgling convict colony, there be no distinction between the free man and the freed man, believing that if you had come to Australia as a convict and had served your time, you were to be treated no differently than a man who arrived as a free settler or stayed on as a member of the early garrison. And we believe that is the foundation of the Australian notion of a fair go for all. And it is certainly that legacy that here at Macquarie University we will always aim to maintain and honour. Now, ladies and gentlemen, notwithstanding Macquarie's greatness, it is fair to acknowledge that some of his actions would not pass muster today. Removing Aboriginal children from their families, even for the purpose of their own education, would certainly not be tolerated today. I wonder how many things we accept today that we will look back upon one day with a sense of shame. One of the attributes that I certainly hope that Macquarie University will impart to all of our students is the capacity for moral and ethical reflection, and a yearning always to help right the wrongs, not just of the past, but also of our own time. Macquarie University will always be a leader in teaching and learning, and a leader in the accumulation of wisdom, knowledge and understanding. In other words, an ideal community of scholars. Ladies and gentlemen, academic and professional colleagues, and most importantly, our graduands, I offer you the warmest of welcomes to Macquarie University in this wonderful celebratory occasion. And in just a few moments, it will be my very great privilege to confer upon you the degrees for which you have qualified and welcome you as lifelong members of that community of scholars we proudly call Macquarie University. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure to introduce our occasional speaker, Mr. Graham Innes AM. Graham Innes is a lawyer, author and company director. His biography, Finding a Way, achieved popular acclaim in 2016. He has been a human rights practitioner for more than 30 years and is a conference presenter and facilitator. Mr. Innes was a commissioner at the Australian Human Rights Commission for almost 9 years, responsible for issues relating to disability, race and human rights. He chairs the Attitude Foundation, a startup using media to change attitudes towards Australians with disabilities. On the international stage, he was a member of the Australian delegation that participated in negotiating the UN Convention on the Rights of People with Disabilities. He is a director of the New South Wales State Insurance Regulatory Authority, Life Without Barriers, and PwC's Diversity Board. Since 2014, Mr. Innes has received 4 honorary doctorates in recognition for his human rights advocacy. He is married with 2 children, loves cricket as a spectator and sailing as a participant, and relaxes by enjoying the occasional, I am told, fine Australian white wine. I now invite Mr. Innes AM to deliver the occasional address. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Graham Innes AM.
I acknowledge the Darug people, the traditional owners of this land. Vice-Chancellor, thank you for your welcome. And I'm pleased that you mentioned Rennick Centre and the Masters in Disability Studies. I was a student at a much lower level in the same organisation at the North Rock School for Blind Children many, many years ago. It had been raining steadily for 4 days, and the question of whether the fete would go ahead on Saturday was constantly up for discussion at the family dinner table. I was about 12, very excited about the event taking place in the hospital grounds, virtually my backyard, as my dad was the chief executive and we lived on the premises. And I was the strongest proponent of going ahead, whatever the weather. Saturday dawned and the rain continued. "They'll have to call it off," said Mum. "The ground is far too boggy." "No, they won't," I said, eternally optimistic. "I know what we'll do," said my dad, who had always been, to quote from that favourite movie of mine, The Castle, an ideas man, "we'll move it from outside on the lawn to inside in the hospital roof space." This area had recently been covered in to accommodate the new office expansion. The setup crew agreed, so the operation of moving the contents of 20 stalls, soft drink machines, fairy floss makers, public address systems, and all the paraphernalia required for a successful fundraising event began. My mother and sister were in charge of the cake stall, carrying what they already had stored at our home up to the hospital and up in the lift. My dad and brother were wheeling trolleys of soft drink boxes to and fro and carrying the bags of ice necessary to keep them cool. The family tradition of all hands on deck was deeply ingrained in me, and I was desperate to help. But that would be a challenge for a blind 12-year-old where the environment was wet, muddy, and constantly shifting. My face fell further and further as one after another of the setup crew told me that there was nothing I could do. As it had done often in the past, and would do again and again during my life, my dad's warm hand on my shoulder saved the day. "There's more than enough jobs for everyone today," he said. "The only question is, or the only puzzle is which one you can do, and I've solved the puzzle. Come and drive the lift." Now the lift was the pinch point for the whole operation. Everything and everyone going to and from the fete had to go up and down in that lift. And due to the high demand from the ground floor and the roof space, it was constantly tripping out and causing delays. "I'm going to override the automatic system and put this on manual, and I want you to drive it," Dad said. "If this lift doesn't keep going, we won't have a fete." I couldn't have been prouder. I stood 2 centimetres taller and spent the next 12 hours driving the lift, eating and drinking while going up and down, and strategically selecting quiet times for rushed toilet breaks. No one else was touching those controls. There was no way I was letting down my dad or risking the fete not going ahead. This story encapsulates my life. Learning from my parents that I wasn't the kid who was blind, but an integral part of a functioning family unit. Understanding that we, with our Christian values and ethics, and as well-off members of Australian society, had a social obligation to support those not so well off. And knowing that success, as Grandma always used to tell me, was 10% inspiration and 90% perspiration. I learned that most things could be achieved. The challenge was finding a way. Many people with disabilities in Australia have not been blessed with the same opportunities with which I was blessed. 45% of us live in poverty. We are employed at a rate 30% less than the general population. A higher proportion of us than in the general population, particularly amongst people with intellectual or psychosocial disability, experience prison as our accommodation option. And services for us are underfunded and not well organised. The National Disability Insurance Scheme will, as it fully rolls out, address some of these issues. But the major barrier that we face is the attitude barrier. People with disabilities are viewed by the Australian community as either heroes who have overcome challenges or as victims deserving of charity and welfare. But most of us just want to be viewed as agents of our own destiny, getting on with our lives in the community. However, we are limited by the soft bigotry of low expectations. And if the bar is set low, that's as far as most of us will go. So changing community attitudes changes lives. Much of my life has been spent challenging those attitudes, advocating for better student services for blind students, working on the enactment of disability discrimination legislation, representing Australia during negotiations for United Nations Convention on the Rights of People with Disabilities, and most recently spending 9 years as Australia's Disability Discrimination Commissioner, implementing the legislation which I had helped to draft. This was the best job I ever had, advocating for the rights of people with disabilities. But I shouldn't forget all of you who have graduated today or who will graduate today through your hard work and study, particularly those graduating in the Masters of Disability Studies. Congratulations to you all. Make sure that your degree is the solid foundation to whatever else you achieve in life. Mahatma Gandhi said that a nation's greatness is measured by how it treats its weakest members. And I encourage you, in the paths of life which you choose after your graduation, to contribute to an Australian society which is great because it honours our cultural heritage, dating back some 60,000 years or more, values our diversity, and includes people with disabilities as contributors to our society. That's the Team Australia of which I want to be a member, and the Team Australia of which I encourage you to join. Now that you are getting your degree today, most of what you want to achieve can be achieved. The challenge is finding a way to achieve it. So today, celebrate the recognition of your hard work and study with your family and friends. And tomorrow, let's use your award to build a stronger and more inclusive community. Thanks for the chance to speak with you this morning.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there I believe we have just had an oration for an occasion such as this in the finest tradition of graduation addresses. Wonderful recount of a vignette of life, drawing from that such important notations for our graduands here today. And I draw upon one particular thing which you said, Graham, and that was, and I think this applies to all of our graduands here today, about being agents of your own destiny. that carries with it responsibility, and I'll come back to that in my closing remarks today. I do want to thank Mr. Graham Innes on two fronts. Firstly, and most importantly, for his outstanding advocacy work over a long, long lifetime. And I think we all should pause and give thought to the tremendous work that he has done as a leader in advocacy for those with disabilities. My second thanks is for the wonderful occasional address here today. Please join me in thanking Graham Innes again. As Vice-Chancellor of Macquarie University, I especially look forward to presiding at ceremonies just such as today's and conferring degrees upon those who have complied with all the university's requirements for such awards. I now call upon our Registrar, Ms. Gail White, to formally certify the eligibility of those who have met the requirements of the Academic Senate for the awards they are about to receive. Now, if the Chancellor were here, graduates, he would be demanding that Ms. White not only make those certifications, but also that you always submitted every assignment on time and that you never missed a class at all. Ms. White, can you give me those certifications?
Vice-Chancellor, yes, I certify that all of the candidates being presented here today and those who are absent have satisfied the requirements of the Academic Senate for the degrees they are to be awarded. Would all candidates for admission to degrees please stand?
In the name of the Macquarie University Council and my authority delegated as Vice-Chancellor from the Council, I admit each of you present and those who are absent to the degrees for which you have qualified. Graduates, congratulations.
Graduates, please be seated. Vice-Chancellor, the graduates at this ceremony are from the Faculty of Human Sciences, and I call on Professor Simon Handley, Executive Dean of the Faculty, to present the graduates. Professor Handley.
Vice-Chancellor, the graduates at this ceremony are from the Faculty of Human Sciences. The Faculty of Human Sciences hosts a unique combination of disciplines connected by the common purpose of building an understanding of what it means to be human. Our departments of Educational Studies, Psychology, Cognitive Science, and Linguistics offer innovative and interdisciplinary teaching programs and research strengths in learning, behaviour, mind, and language. We aspire to develop a deeper understanding of the human experience and deliver graduates with highly developed professional and personal skills. The Department of Educational Studies is a world-leading provider of initial teacher education as one of the top 100 education departments worldwide. It is shaping the future of education through transformative learning and research across the lifespan. These research strengths span a broad range of areas, including early childhood, maths education, digital learning, language and literacies, child development, inclusive and special education. Macquarie's education researchers are uniquely positioned to help shape the complex issues that define the future of humanity. As mentioned by the Vice-Chancellor, we are excited to welcome colleagues from the Rennick Centre, the educational division of the Royal Institute for Deaf and Blind Children, who have joined our faculty to deliver the Master of Disability Studies. I am delighted to announce that today we celebrate with the first graduating cohort from this Master's programme. Congratulations. We are excited to add another dimension to our special education, teaching and research. Another of our core strengths is in psychology and cognitive sciences, a world-leading discipline also in the top 100 disciplines worldwide, with the most employable graduates in New South Wales. We have globally leading expertise across multiple areas of research, including child development, emotional health, reading and communication, vision, action, and elite performance. The translation of our research and the experience of our students is facilitated through our on-site clinics for psychology, emotional health, and reading. Together, our departments of psychology and educational studies are transforming the lives of future generations through building a better understanding of children's and adults' learning and the psychological determinants of human behaviour. Our most important contribution, however, is through training the very best future educators and psychologists in Australia. Vice-Chancellor, I present to you the graduates from the Faculty of Human Sciences whom you have admitted to degrees. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Commerce with the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Psychology. Chi Jung Bo. Daniel Trini. Vice-Chancellor, I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts. Isabel Ann. Stuart Ball. Ria Fortuna. Camille Guruvadu. Yimeng Nia. Philip John Towers. Romchart Uttaravitan. Janielle Gwen Razo Aban. Ira Abraham. Sally Tassin Ali. Jessica Allen. Shannon Barker. Katie Beach. Alistair Blair. Jessica Lee Bridcutt. Chantal Tina Claret. Dora de Bassis. Elizabeth Rose Dick. Jacqueline Dossator. Brianna Frankie. Talia Bridget Fraser. Samuel James Free. Sindhuja Ganapati. Lyndall Kelly Goff. Simon Peter Gooch. Madeline Juanita Govenda. Oliver Hui. Holly Humphreys. Madison Kelly. Naomi May. Nina Lauren Sutton McElwain. Lauren Haley Meltzer. Tina Nguyen. Abby Orchard. Katerina Perak. Shamita Prakash. Mojdi Sadakpur. Emmeline Faith San Diego. Tess Sanjavash. Nadine Sarah. Riva Chabot. Matthew William Thomas Sheath. Adwicha John Singh. Ramanjot Singh. Emily Smith. Alana Spenceley Armstrong. Erin Pandora Dixon Starkey. Timothy Tomoyuki Tippett. Brian Tran. Laura Anne-Marie Travers. Eric Keith Tuchin. Anna Louise Tuck. Isabella Walker Wheatland. Daniel John Williams. Chanel Marie Wu. Vice-Chancellor, I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Education, Early Childhood Education, Birth to 12. Aria Adams Wilcox. Susanna Airy. Monica Ma Alphonse. Christine Kwan Hui Ann. Gloria Au. Khadija Salwa Awada. Jennifer Leanne Baker. Emily Barker. Andriana Barros. Kirsten Basil. Leal Marie Beasley. Rachel Bell. Vanessa Louise Brown. Shannon Brown. Jiang Tu Bui. Courtney Burgess. Alexandra Danielle Cameron. Tamika Cameron. Curie Chue. Catherine Chua. Olivia Torrey Clark. Caitlin Cooper. Jessica Taylor Cowdroy. Emma Alice Cullen. Rhea Ruth D'Souza. Emily Grace Dart. Caitlin Zoe Dawson. Sophie Ann Dixon. Susanna Claire Douglas. Shay Sarah Dredge. Michael John Duck. Juliette Louise Eagleton. Renee Suling Goodman. Laura Ann Gregor. Yana Ha. Alexa Harib. Gemma Marie Hathaway. Alyssa Higgins. Amanda Rose Hull. Nadia Jawad. Esther Joe. Melissa Jones. Annabelle Jung. Tavleen Kaur. Selena Coe. Min Son Kim. Jennifer Coe. Brianna Margaret Lee. Sarah Jin Oi Lee. Madeline Cara Linda. Elizabeth Liu. Mei Jiao Liu. Helen Macquarie. Jacqueline Zoe McCann. Julia Milvitsky. Hannah Nerinks. Tessalee Magnolia Earn. Stephanie Ninovich. Kate Nolan. Alison Mary Olmsted. Marie France Pierre. Rochelle Plummer. Michaela Zoe Pallon. Rahana Ramatullah. Lisa Mary Redman. Amy Jean Renshaw. Stephanie Roberts. Stephanie Salter. Josephine Shiani. Shannon Lee Shallis. Lauren Sheardon. Leonie Lee Sunyari. Rebecca Toblee. Phoebe Hope Walshaw. Naomi Tara Whiteley. Karen Chik-Kay Wong. Ye Zhu. Vice-Chancellor, I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Human Sciences, Aisha Dadamia. Vice-Chancellor, I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Science, Talia Burden. Wendy Cole-Higgins, who has been awarded the Macquarie University Award for Academic Excellence. Christopher White, who has been awarded the Macquarie University Award for Academic Excellence. Vice-Chancellor, I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Social Science, Austin J. Petrachito. Vice-Chancellor, I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Teaching, Birth to 5 years, Suraksha Adhikari. Jessica Ruth Lee Bird. Larissa Dixon. Michelle Carol Marsden. Catherine Morgan. Laura Ann Neal. Betty Chopolos. Vice-Chancellor, I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Teaching, Early Childhood Education, Virginia Stephanie Ballard. Sarah Ann Fitch. Edda Kurt. Brianna Laety. Chinchi Lee. Clara Murar. Yu Jong Park. Emma Petterson. Gabrielle Shanahan. Hungmo Shu. Angela Jenhui Yu. Vice-Chancellor, I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Disability Studies. Karen Elizabeth Clifford. Sharon Louise Fivey, who has been awarded the Macquarie University Award for Academic Excellence. Megan Louise Hamlin. Cassandra Francis Holmes, who has been awarded the Macquarie University Award for Academic Excellence. Nicole Marie Johnson. Claire Susan Northrop. Vice-Chancellor, I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Early Childhood. Tegan Rebecca Swift. Kylie Wade. Vice-Chancellor, I present the graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Educational Leadership. Natalie Emma Adler. Vice-Chancellor, I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Teaching, Birth to 5 Years. Sally Ann Elizabeth Button. Emily Ann Carvalho. Ron Chang. Olivia Catherine Cooper. Alexandra Delich. Angeline Denise Gonzalez. Anthea Louise Hepburn. Junie John. Miriam Amy Jones, who has been awarded the Macquarie University Award for Academic Excellence. Jasmine Kaur. Nilu Fasadat Musavi. Moonzila Moon Moon. Sitina Mooney. Deepti Mandar Pendakar. Victoria Jane Shortman. Coral Lee Williams. Jordan Marnie Winch. Yvonne Rita Young. Xiang Zhou. Tamara Zorita. Vice-Chancellor, I present the diplomate awarded the Graduate Diploma of Special Education, Lindsay Joy Lua. Vice-Chancellor, I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Master of Research, Susanna Stepanovic, for a thesis entitled Raising Children Matters, an exploration of family online social media networking experiences. Vice-Chancellor, I present graduates admitted to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Dr. Ching Meng, for a thesis entitled Neuromagnetic Approaches to Measuring Auditory Brain Function in Cochlear Implant Recipients, MEG Markers of Speech Processing and Evaluation of a Prototype MEG System. Dr. Jane Merriweather for a thesis entitled Young Children's Perspectives of Outdoor Pedagogical Spaces, Animated and Entangled Becomings. Vice-Chancellor, that completes this morning's presentation of the graduates from the Faculty of Human Sciences.
Vice-Chancellor, I call on Dr. Jane Merriweather, who has just graduated with a Doctor of Philosophy, to speak on behalf of the graduating group. Dr. Merriweather.
Good morning, Vice-Chancellor, members of the university, graduates and guests. Being invited to speak on behalf of graduating students today has given me pause to reflect on my association with Macquarie University, which has spanned the last 9 years and 5 Prime Ministers, as a part-time Master's and then PhD student. I was also a distance student. Today is only the 3rd time I have visited this beautiful campus. My Macquarie University is in the cloud. I live in regional Western Australia, and distance study was the only way I could pursue higher education. Farming, mining, the bush are all central to the Australian economy and culture, so enabling people like me to access the gift of higher education is not only a matter of individual equity, but something that benefits all Australians. So I want to thank Macquarie University for all of the efforts it has put into making its courses available to people across Australia, not just those who live in Sydney. I also want to thank Macquarie University staff, academic and administrative, for their support and encouragement all the while. As students, we are grateful to staff who politely responded to our sometimes tedious questions, laughed at our often tedious jokes, gracefully marked our occasionally tedious work, and who stood up for us and by us when the chips were down. Which brings me to our families and friends. On behalf of all of us, thank you. You've supported us when we needed it, avoided us when your survival depended on it, cheered us on, listened patiently to our rants, but most importantly, you believed in us when we weren't feeling so confident in ourselves. Finally, to my fellow graduates. On occasions such as this, it's customary to quote from luminaries like Plato or Einstein, but I'm going to draw on someone much closer to home and humour my parochial roots and quote from a fellow Western Australian, Tim Minchin, who on being awarded an honorary doctorate last month at Edith Cowan University said, "You just have to be really, really good at what you do. Ideally be the best, and that takes hours and hours and hours. You don't get to have a good work-life balance. You simply spend all your time and all your energy and all your money getting good. Sorry." Thanks, Tim. We've all worked hard to get here today. We've experienced disappointments and rough times, but with grit and determination, our presence at this graduation is evidence of our ability to persevere. As we move on through the next 5 Prime Ministers and beyond, we know we're prepared to deal with the challenges we will face, taking with us wonderful memories, achievements and friendships. So today I want to thank everyone in the Macquarie University community that we've been privileged to encounter during our studies. You have made my past 9 years incredible, and I graduate today with certainty that choosing Macquarie University was one of the best decisions of my life. Thank you.
Well, Dr. Jane Merriweather, welcome to Macquarie University for the third time. It's wonderful to have you here. And ladies and gentlemen, what a wonderful responsorial address there today. And I would highlight for you that in Dr. Merriweather's remarks, the constant theme of thanks. I've been dwelling as I get older and think a lot about the notion of gratitude and the importance of gratitude in our lives, being thankful for all the wonderful things that we have in our lives. And I think her speech really amplified that very, very well for us. And as someone who also came from the outback of Australia, I'm delighted to have a fellow rural Australian along with us today. Please join me in thanking Dr. Merriweather again. Thank you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that wonderful operatic voice is the voice of Ms. Angela Brewer, and I'm very pleased she was able to be here today to help us out with graduation. Graduates, you're actually very lucky that Angela was able to be here today. She sings at most graduations of the university. On the occasion when she's not able to be here, I've actually heard the Chancellor sing. And if he's not able to be here, then he makes me do the ear singing, which would be a very bad scene. Please join me in thanking Angela Brewer again. I'm sure you will want to also join me in thanking our musicians on the organ, Dr. James Forsyth. and on the transverse flute, Dr. Chai Chang-ing. Now, on both sides of the auditorium, we have members of the university's alumni volunteer community who come along to help out and make sure your graduations run smoothly. Please join me in thanking them as well. Now, graduates, this ceremony marks a change in your relationship with Macquarie University, but it is certainly not the end, I hope, of your association with us. From today on, for the rest of your lives, you are part of that bigger Macquarie University family, which is our alumni, and part of the network that I mentioned earlier of over 190,000 Macquarie alumni spanning across the globe. We will keep in touch with you through the alumni office, and I hope you might come back to campus to attend alumni events, perhaps to undertake more study or to visit for the fourth time, just for a wander around our beautiful campus. Graduates, the award of the university degree carries many opportunities and privileges, but it also indeed carries responsibilities as well. I urge you to commit yourselves to a program of lifelong learning and inquiry. I urge you to set ambitious goals for yourselves. I urge you to continue the hard work that has already brought you this far. I particularly also urge you to think of how you might be able to help out others along the way. You don't have to do much sometimes to make a really big difference in someone else's life. And you don't have to be Einstein to change the world either. Sometimes simply a kind gesture or a kind word can mean an enormous amount to the person who receives it. So I urge you always to give thought to what you can do for others along the way as well. I challenge you to continue to exercise sound judgment and initiative, and to always be generous in offering practical advice and wisdom to those you meet along life's journey. My hope is that as graduates of Macquarie University, you will use what you have learned here not only for your own benefit, the benefit of your family, but also for the benefit and betterment of your communities. And in all you do, I charge you to uphold the good name of Macquarie University. I hope you will always also remember the people who have helped you out along the way, many of whom are with you here today. So to acknowledge their contribution and thank them for it, I'm going to ask you graduates to do a couple of things for me. First of all, I would like all of our new graduates to please stand. Now I would like you to turn around and place your testimonies on your seats behind you and face your family and friends. And now I invite you to give them a mighty round of applause in thanks. Now you can turn around, but don't sit down just yet. Here on the dais are representatives of our academic staff who have supported you throughout your journey. Please join me in thanking them as well. Graduates, please remain standing, but do turn around and pick up your testimonies from the seats behind you, since the official party will very shortly leave the courtyard, followed by the graduates. As we do, Dr. Forsyth will play the traditional recessional music of graduations, music which has been played at ceremonies just as such as this for centuries. An age-old set of Latin lyrics goes along with this music and begins as Gaudeamus igitur, nos habebit juventutem. In translation, this graduation exit song starts out, "Therefore, let us rejoice, for we will always be young." The song speaks in a whimsical way of youth and old age at the very same time, of the brevity of life and the inevitability of death, of city and of state and indeed of happiness. Again, to the newest graduates of Macquarie University, my warmest congratulations and every best wish for your futures to be filled with success, satisfaction, and most importantly, happiness. Now might I ask everyone to please stand. Shortly, I will lead the official party out to be followed by the graduates. I then invite you all to follow the procession down through the campus and join us at the marquee for light refreshments. In closing today's wonderful high ceremony of achievement, I say again, Gaudeamus igitur, therefore let us rejoice.